Hey guys, welcome back to SWD. This is a quick video just to run through the proposal template with you guys, just to explain it and go in a little bit more depth if you have any questions regarding the proposal template. So obviously, when you send out a proposal, you send out the proposal once you know the client would like to use your services or would like a better idea of the pricing and the different tiers that you have available for them after you've obviously discussed it with them to a certain degree, or you've done some pre-proposal questions, which we do have content on if you want to go find out what that is. But this is now the stage where you're actually going to send the proposal. Now, how do you compile a proposal? The great thing is we actually have a template for you that you can use, and you can just tweak it as you go along. We would suggest that once you have tweaked it to fit your needs, then you sort of just have that same template that you send out, not having to waste too much time on writing a new proposal every single time for a different client. It can be quite time consuming. Okay, so let's jump right into it. So you can download this template from us, even at the bottom of the video section. You can also go and download it from there. So top right, as you can see, this is just your name, John Doe, 123 Bakersville, Bread County. So that's pretty much just your information there. Then the client's information, as you can see here, client's name, owner, company name. Okay, so generally what you do is you start off just with a little introduction. It's just polite, it's manners. That's just how you do it. And then it's just, dear Bob, thanks for discussing your business with me yesterday. I've compiled 3 options I believe will help achieve the business goals we've discussed. Please review my proposal and let me know if you have any questions or comments. I will contact you next week, Tuesday, if I haven't heard from you then. Obviously change it from Tuesday to Wednesday to Friday to whatever you'd like, but this is just the introductory letter pretty much. Then you start off with the project overview. Okay, so before we go any further in detail, I'm going to run through it very quickly so you can see the different layouts. So it's going to be project overview, it's going to be project options, option 1, 2, 3, and then it's terms of the agreement, where you also list the pricing for the options and where they can select the options and then sign. So it's a quick one, 3 pages long. It's really not that long. Okay, so project overview. This is where you pretty much state a problem or a challenge that the client has, and then you also state how you're going to overcome that challenge with a few solutions after you've obviously discussed with them what it is that they want. Okay, so company, you can have their Builders Co. would like to improve their existing website to focus on generating more free consultations, which will result in more paying clients. Okay, so this is just stating what is the actual objective. You're starting with that. Then you recognize the importance of a conversion-centered website and this the reason for a professional redesign with this purpose in mind. Over 50% of your website visitors are viewing the website on their mobile device. The website will primarily be focused on a clear and simplified process to request a free consultation with less distraction. So you're being straight honest, boom, this is what it's about. This is what we're going to do for you. You're currently running multiple marketing campaigns on various channels, and the website will need to be tailored to the visitors from these channels using effective landing pages that are relevant to the visitor and achieve the necessary business goals of booking a free consultation. Okay, so that's just compiling everything that you've gathered information once you were sitting with him, and you're saying this is sort of what you're running at the moment, and we're going to solve that by having effective landing pages. According to your data, only 2% of website visitors result in free consultations, and 10% of free consultations result in paying clients. Okay, the goal would be to double the number of free consultations to at least 4%, which I believe is a low estimate based on the results I've seen in similar industries focused around effective call to actions. Okay, so with regards to that, you can also do some research in those industries to see what exactly is the ratio, what exactly is the percentage. But this is pretty much just in general, there's going to be increase. Okay, there will be increase. It's like anything. If you're going to start spending more time and invest more money onto it, you're going to have a much larger reach with your clientele, which means you're going to have more conversions. It's obvious that's what's going to happen. But if you don't, you're not going to be seen by others. Others aren't going to know about you, and therefore they're not going to convert. And that's what you're going to be doing for this company. You're going to drive more traffic to their website with effective landing pages, call to actions, and therefore it's going to generate more sales. Okay, so it's all legit. Now, I just want to mention as well, this is heavily directed at a service, consultations, but you can tweak this to if it's online products, if it's an e-commerce client that would like to sell his products, you could also just convert it into that sense. So instead of conversions, you'll then look at the data that he's given you on your discovery sessions, and you'll say, hey, the moment you're selling 100 units per month, and you're using this, you've been trying these angles, you've been spending so much on Google AdWords, if you even had it, you've been doing all these things, but now if I tweak it for you, you will definitely get an increase in visitors to your website, and therefore generally an increase in sales. Okay, so you can tweak it to fit the type of customer and the type of project that you have actually going for. All right. So then moving on, realistically, I do believe we could achieve a 6 to 8% conversion rate of free consultations once the site has been completed and improved on. But I'm 100% confident that 4% is a low estimate. So this is just giving some historical surety. If you don't want to put this in there because you are not sure, or you don't feel comfortable with it because you don't have enough history to back this statement, then don't put it in there. Just remove it. Okay, so whatever you're not comfortable with putting in because you're not sure about it, leave it out. Once you get 1 or 2 clients and you start seeing the results and you start seeing the effectiveness of your services, then you add it in there, because then you can say with surety, you can say, look, this is what I've done for the previous client and it works. This is what I've done there and it works. Then you can start talking with a lot more, I almost want to say, confidence in what it is that you can achieve for this particular client. Okay. Then moving on to this paragraph here, at an average value of 1250 per client and based on double your existing monthly client signups, 4 per month, I'm very confident we could achieve 4 additional signups per month. Okay. Then we do the sum there, or 48 additional signups per year. Why do we have this in there? Okay. The reason for this is to show the value that you can create, is to show the value that you can add to this prospective client's website. Therefore, it justifies the value of your services. Now, if you could only give them an average of 1 extra client per month, if you say this is my estimate, then they're not going to be paying 2,000 per month, or a big chunk of let's say 5,000 once off fees for an extra client per month. Doesn't make business sense. They're not going to make a return on their investment. It's too much invested into something that's unnecessary. You see, so this puts it into perspective, and therefore it's quite important to know your client and to know what type of services they render and the sort of income that they can get. And that's just by asking in general. It's like, hey, I would just like to know how much sort of value do you get in a contract, if you're contract based, if you're product based, if you whatever, then you can sort of gaze that estimation to see how much value could you actually bring in for them, how much turnover. Because at the end of the day, why do businesses spend on marketing? They spend money on marketing to make more sales. There's no other reason why they would actually spend any money on marketing if that wasn't the sole reason. Okay, so they want to generate more awareness, more sales, more conversions, more money. That's the reason. Okay, and this is where you come in. And it's a good thing they've got you, because you're going to whip it out of the park, mate. Come on. Okay. Last little paragraph there, as a reference below, is the contact email of John Smith. After working with him on a similar project, his business almost tripled in sales within 1 year. If you have this, great, put it in. If you don't, leave it out. Once you start getting momentum and you start picking up clients and so forth, and you have this client's permission to do something like this, then great, go for it. Obviously, if they're not in direct competition with one another, just use your wisdom on that one as to which ones you'd want to put in there. All right, moving on. Okay, project options. So just to recap, project overview. So you stated this is what they wanted. There was sort of a challenge. They wanted more visitors, they want more conversions, and you're going to solve that. And you're telling them how much more you can actually give them, how much more you can actually value you can add by doing the landing pages and so forth. Okay, then moving forward, project options. I've listed 3 possible options below for the project. You will notice that option 3 has a monthly retainer service included. This provides you with an ongoing access to my expertise in this area as well as the tasks outlined below. Based on our previous conversations, I would estimate and recommend that you will benefit from my retainer services for a minimum of 3 to 6 months. All right, so this again just states um, the introduction. It's like the big picture as to what's coming for the client, as you have mentioned to him. The reason why we also say a minimum of 3 to 6 months, because like some channels do take longer. Let's say you're running Google AdWords. That's sort of a short-term strategy. So that's instant. Determining or all depending on how competitive the market is for those search terms in your client's sphere. Google AdWords could be a very good option, but then they're going to be spending a lot on Google AdWords, which is a direct cost, which is increasing every year because of the competitiveness. Okay, but that's direct short-term results, because now if anybody types in building supply or building contract or whatever, boom, they pop up first page and off you go, they click and off you go. You know the story. But now if you're also going to be focusing on the landing pages, the SEO, the articles, building organic traction so that they will rank organically on Google, that's more of a long-term process. Okay, that's more of a long-term strategy. So therefore 3 to 6 months, you could start seeing results. You might not be on the first page ranking. Also, again, depending on the competitiveness of the industry, but you might start seeing, hey, I'm not on the 5th page anymore. I've moved up to the 4th page, and I've moved up to the 3rd. And if we continue with this trade, then you will soon start becoming ranking on the first page somewhere. But it takes time, okay? And it's important that the client knows that. And then obviously the other services that you will be rendering for him, which is on a month-to-month basis, not just a once-off basis. Okay, so it's just reminding the client it takes time. Okay, so jumping into the options, again, you can tweak this as you see fit for the client. The big overview for this, before we go into the detail, would be option 1 would be a smaller, lesser entry-level package. Option 2, medium size. Option 3, the Rolls Royce. All right. There's also this one great pricing strategy that we've shared in the past in our podcasts and so forth, in our articles, regarding having a tiered pricing strategy, having some options. It is statistically proven that a lot of the people having 3 options in front of them goes for the middle option. Okay, depending on how the pricing has been played out. Some of them will go for the most expensive one. The least of the people will go for the less expensive one, the cheapest one. Okay, so you want to play off with that as well. But as long as you know that if they do choose option 1, it still has to bring them results, but the results will most probably be slower, less, and not as effective. Why? Because you're not doing that many services, you're not ticking all of the boxes, because that's going to cost more of your time and more of your money and more of your expertise. Therefore, you can't afford them. You can't be paid that little for too much services. So it is a smaller package, but they can still get a few results. Okay, so just bearing that in mind. Okay, let's go into the detail. Option 1. It says here, I will redesign your company's website, focus on acquiring more free consultations as a main priority. Again, you can customize this to, I will redesign your e-commerce store, focusing on acquiring more traffic to your website, which will then result in more sales of your products. So you can tweak that. Okay. Additional services under this option include integrating social media profiles, integrating your email marketing service provider, and Google Analytics integration. Okay, entry level, something really basic. If you believe this is going to bring them results in this area in driving more conversions, then that's the minimum that you'll do for them. Okay. Option 2, this option includes everything from option 1, but also includes the following additional services: submission to Google Search Console for SEO purposes, 10 premium stock photo images, and creation of 5 additional landing pages for various marketing campaigns. Okay, so then that'll mean all of those and all of these will be then for option 2. This again is if you feel this is the right choice for this particular client, you'll have those options in there. Option 3, this option includes everything from option 1 and 2, but also includes the following additional services. Boom, Rolls Royce. AdWords account setup, creating effective campaigns and monitoring for improvements. Local directory submission, this boosts your SEO results. Google local listing, this boosts your SEO results. Integrating and configuring additional CTA software tools like SumoMe. Integrating live chat software. Marketing retainer includes SEO and 2 times monthly monthly articles. So this is a Rolls Royce. Okay. If you see the client's budget while you do the pre-proposal discovery, if you see the client's budget is smaller or they have a large budget or whatever, then you can also tweak these options, option 1, 2, and 3 accordingly. Okay, so you might even have a few more services in option 2, which might include the Google AdWords, or maybe even one SEO article. Okay, so you can still tweak this how you feel the client needs to make a success out of investing this monthly retainer with you. All right, so that's very important, but this is definitely a good starting point. All right, so moving on, terms of the agreement. This is the last page. This is just so that everybody is on the same page in terms of the agreement. So I'm going to run through it quick. You will notice that I don't provide an hourly billing cost. This is harmful to you in the sense that it discourages efficiency and creativity from our part, and in the end we are both focused on the outcome and not inefficient hours worked. The prices provided below are fixed, which means there are no hidden fees, and I absorb all the risk in completing the project within these boundaries. Okay, pause. This is great. Okay, why? If you start providing an hourly cost, clients are expecting you to work those hours. Okay, they are drilling down on you. They don't see the value, they just see the hour. So they go, oh no, but in their mind as well, something like this might only take 2 hours. So why are you charging me so much if it should only take you 2 hours? But they don't know coding. They don't know what it takes to get all the things set up and going and running smoothly, and all the marketing campaigns and all the creativity that goes behind it. So in their mind, it's not the amount of time that they have. It's way longer. And as you get more efficient, it's going to be quicker for sure. But there's the value aspect that we want to reinstall here into the forefront of their mind. Just like we mentioned earlier, if you have 4 times more clients, that equates to X amount more every month, which justifies our value then once off and or monthly. Okay, so that's the route we want to go here. Value-based services, value-based pricing, not hourly-based pricing. Okay, and this just re-emphasizes that factor. Okay, the pricing for each option is as follows. Option 1, 3.5, once off. Option 2, 4.5, once off. Option 3 is a 5.9. 5.0 once off plus a 500 monthly retainer. Okay, so this obviously you need to go and work out what it is the cost that you would want, also based on what you can think and see the client actually has available for certain services like this, and of course it needs to be relatively competitive. Okay, then moving on, once off fees are to be paid in full upfront, and the retainer amounts are due at the beginning of each month. Pause. This is important. Okay, you get some guys out there that will never end up paying. because you just get those guys. Okay, then you get guys that stall payment. So as you're building on the project, as you're working on it, as you're building his website or updating his current one, there's always going to be things. Some clients are easy, some clients are difficult. Some clients will be like, no, please add this, please remove this, please change this color, please do that, please redo this, please, I want this, please. Then your project never is going to end. So you're going to be working at this for months and months and months, never going to get any payment from this because the guy's always just making changes and the time just stacks up. Okay, we do not want that, and we do not want those type of clients either. Okay, so this also helps with bypassing all of those headaches. Okay, once your fees are to be paid in full up front, boom, and the retainer amounts are due at the beginning of each month, boom. Why the retainer amounts? Because if you're going to be writing SEO articles for them or having it written, getting somebody to write it for you, you pay them their fee, you take your cut, boom. You need to do that before the month starts. So generally how we approach it is if we have a website build and a monthly retainer, the website build will take, depending on the scope of the project, let's just say a month. Okay, then during that month, knowingly that if it's going to be done at the end of that month, you can now start with the SEO articles if they've chosen a retainer and an SEO package, and you can have that ball rolling so that by the time the next month starts, your marketing can also start. But now that has inquired costs. It has inquired either your time to do it or you outsourced it to somebody to do, so you had to pay them, and you'll notice they'll also want payment up front, some of these people. So then for that reason, now you've inquired costs already, so this guy needs to pay up front, okay, for the services that you're going to render in that month. So it's very important to do that. You don't want to get into a cash flow problem or fighting for supply with customers for payment. It's not a nice place to be in. It makes working for yourself a schlep. In other words, it makes working for yourself very unpleasurable, and you want to bypass that completely. Okay, and generally we find a lot of our clients accept these terms without a blink of an eye. They just go, oh, sure, yeah, boom. So yeah, so that's the going rate these days. Okay, so moving on. Here we go. There's a nice little line in there. If we have a look here, I guarantee my work at any point you feel that I have failed in delivering what is described in this proposal, please contact me and I will either make necessary changes or refund you. This is just sort of that courtesy as to I can do this for you. You can trust me. I can deliver the results. Okay. And if I can't and you're not happy, I'll refund you. 9 out of 10 times people don't want refunds. I almost want to say 99.99999 out of 100 people wouldn't have take a refund. You do get those crazy cases, but hopefully that won't happen to you. Okay, then please select the option you prefer with an X and sign below. That's very straightforward. Upon receipt of this agreement, I will send through an invoice for payment, and then you have the names and the signatures as to when this was, client's name, client's signature, and date signed. Okay. Last little thing at the bottom, you see there, note this proposal is only valid until the 31st of May. So this is just to have that if the guy comes back in a year and says, hey, I want this price, it's like, come on, buddy, it's a year ago. So you just need that little disclaimer down at the bottom there. Okay, guys, I really hope this helped. Again, tweak it as to your industry, as to your clients, but this is a great starting point. And as you can notice, it's only 3 pages long. It's not a 10-page essay. It's not a 20-page massive thing. Also, depending on the scope of the project, obviously, if you have a very detailed project and you're at a level where you're building 200-page or 100-page websites and there needs to be more details filled in, then obviously you'll tweak this template according to those means. Okay, but this is a great starting point for anybody getting his foot into the door when it comes to freelancing and servicing your clients and getting your proposals out there. I just want to mention, don't get hung up by not sending this out. Do it. Don't get too emotionally attached. Fill it in, send it to the client. Okay, what's the worst that can happen? What's the worst? They can say no, and then you just get another client or a different client. That's life. Okay, so if you don't send it out, you're never gonna know. If you don't send it out, you're never gonna get clients who accept it. If you don't send it out, you're never gonna move forward. So go for it, guys. You guys have got all the tools available here to make a success out of this. So now just go for it and go and get those clients and just deliver for them. Awesome. Have a good one.